what's a good starting point to say, okay, how do I get started trying new things?
You know what? I think that the first thing is to get quiet and block everybody out, because that is it really comes down to what you were uniquely designed to do, that calling that's been nagging at you. And if it's scary, you've probably been shoving it down. And like for me, I am a wife and mom, and we just moved to LA a year ago. And I remember like even just putting my child in full-time care because I was trying to grow my business and launch the show was just weird to people. It was like, but you can work from home. Why would you put her out? And I'm like, because I'm trying to write and create videos, and I can't do that with her at home with me, right? So it was like this weird thing where I felt like the other moms, didn't get me and they were judging me. That's like one tiny example, but we can all come up with a million of where like we are just worried about other people's perspectives, what they're doing, what is the right thing to do according to everyone else. A lot of people would not have told me to start doing comedy videos and all the stuff that I'm doing, but I would have never hit my stride. Whereas now I'm like, man, I'm so comfortable in what I'm doing. I love what I do versus just feeling like it's a chore. I feel like, I've finally made it, in one aspect, which is how much I love it. And you're not going to get there until you get quiet and listen in. Okay, what have I been wanting to do? Let's get real with myself. And I encourage you to sit there and journal it out, write it out. One thing I talk about with people who are like, well, I'm not sure what it is I want to do, which is another reason people kind of stall. And I would say, if you sit and listed out the things that you have loved and wanted to do since you were a kid, or even in the various jobs you've had, list out what your favorite parts of that job were. List out, even if you're doing volunteer work, or even within motherhood or homeschooling, what are your favorite parts? And you're going to see common threads. Maybe you always are teaching. No matter what, you're teaching in some aspect, right? Well, then you will probably crush it at building online courses if you're naturally a teacher, right? Or maybe you find in there that it was always something artistic. And what's been missing in your life is to really start creating art every day. But you have to do the work to figure out what that is. So I would encourage you to get quiet, listen in on your own. And then the other part too is to think, how can I pivot and add this in? Because like you said, Christy, this was a gradual change. So I think if someone's listening and they're like, I know I've been playing it safe. Well, you don't have to totally rebrand tomorrow. Like, calm down. Instead, what I did, was I added a comedy video, and that was like in October. I don't think I did another funny thing again until like January. So it wasn't like, hey guys, guess what? I'm a comedian. And all of a sudden I was putting out something funny every week. It was just that like I slowly started to add in more of what lit me up and got me excited that I knew my audience would also find funny or find encouraging. Everything I do, I want it to be motivational as well. So once I put those filters through it, I think you can figure out, okay, so you get quiet and then you maybe do the exercise if you need to on things that you really have always loved and always wanted to do. Then ask yourself, okay, how can I fit this in a small way to what I'm already doing?
I love it. I love that advice. And I love what you said a second ago, too, that I think was really powerful about you feel like you've hit a stride now because you are the most yourself. And I think people chase someone else's version of success, how the Google, defines success, how someone else is successful on Instagram. And it's like, you're going to be the happiest, the most fulfilled when you are the most you. And that might mean it's a smaller scale. It doesn't have the impact or the level of success you've had in your head, whether it's dollars or followers or whatever, but you're going to actually be happier because your hair is curly and you're doing that thing that you love to do. And I think we miss that. And so that's such a great lesson. That's what I love about Business Boutique, equipping women to make money doing what they love. I want you to do what you love. We can be successful at a lot of miserable things, but instead, let's spend our one life doing what we love that makes us light up. That's such a great note to end on.